Good day, everyone. My name is Dr. Palmer, and I will be your instructor for Global Perspectives for this semester. Join me as I take you through an introduction to the course and how it will be run. So the more we know about each other, hopefully the more we can learn from each other. So a little bit about your professor, me, Believe T. Palmer. My email is, first of all, palmerf@alfredstate.edu, and it is the best way to contact me if you would like a meeting. I do not have office hours on campus as I am only teaching online. Originally, I am from New York City, and I double majored in anthropology and fine arts at City College in Harlem. And that's what I did for my undergrad. I got a master's in social studies education before moving to Indiana University, and I got that from Lehman College in the Bronx. Anyone who's from the Bronx might or may not know that Lehman was actually the first site of the United Nations. Whoa! Anyway, between college and now, I've had a bunch of random jobs. I was a hostess at a season ticket holder restaurant in Madison Square Garden. I was a receptionist at a Russian gym, which was called Body by Boris. I was a garment factory inspector. I was a river cruise director on the Yangtze River in China. And before moving to Indiana to pursue my PhD in anthropology, I was a high school history teacher in East Harlem. And then I was, after I entered graduate school, I became a graduate instructor for a bunch of different classes. I spent some time working with professors with American Studies, so you will definitely see that influence in this course as we move through. Like I said, I have a master's in social studies education from Lehman College in the Bronx, and for the past actually 12 years before I came here to Western New York, I was living in Bloomington, Indiana, which is where that photo was taken. And let's see, I taught at Purdue University for 2 years before moving to a non-working farm in Western New York. And maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll turn it into a working farm. But the future holds all sorts of possibilities and no guarantees. For those of you that this is your first class in anthropology, let me give you a quick and fast definition. It is the holistic study of people in the past and present and their cultures generally. More specifically, it is human-centric, a scientific discipline that is broken into 4 fields. Those 4 fields are sociocultural anthropology, that looks at human cultures and human individuals within culture. They are living. Archaeology, which looks at the past through human remains and or their material objects that are left behind, and they make determinations of what life was like back then and people's beliefs. Then there's biological anthropology, which overlaps with primatology, where they look at human evolution. Human beings are a member of the primate family, and therefore looking at our relatives, the chimps, the gorillas, informs us more about our own present. And then finally, linguistics, which looks at language in culture, how human beings use language. All right, so you've heard what anthropology is. I've discussed that in the prior slide. So now let's look at the syllabus just briefly and Blackboard. The syllabus is your guide to the course. Remember that all the pertinent information, the important information, is right up at the top. And you can find my email. Obviously, there's no office hours or anything like that, but there's also lecture time. Lecture time, this is an asynchronous course, meaning that we won't be meeting real time unless you want to make an appointment. So I will post the lectures up in each module, and it's up to you to make the time. Some point during the week to watch the lectures and check out all the stuff that's going to be in Blackboard. So the readings will be on Blackboard, and the activities, the quizzes, the discussion posts. The only two readings that won't be there are the two required books. The first is Flight by Sherman Alexie, which was written in 2007. It is available at the bookstore, but you might be able to find it somewhere else. And then there's Intersex, for lack of a better word, by Thea Hillman, written in 2008. This is also available at the bookstore. The supplemental readings, all the other stuff that you'll have to read, is located in the modules. So when you click on the modules, you'll be able to see the reading for that week, as well as all of the assignments. So the quizzes, the discussion posts, all of that stuff will be in the module folder, and all of those things are due at 11:59 p.m. that week. So I have the dates down, and because this is an online class and I'm doing my best to put most of the stuff up there for you guys to work ahead, I highly recommend working ahead while you have the time at the beginning of the semester, because as the semester progresses, yeah, things get difficult, right? You have like deadlines for all different classes and blah, blah, blah. I can go on and on, but I'll try not to waste your time. Let's see, we use Blackboard interface. As you can see, if you're not familiar with it, although you should be familiar with it, there is the screenshot on this slide. We'll have 10 discussion posts due throughout the semester. Each one is worth 10 points to equal up 100 points. There are 2 fieldwork assignments, or one is a paper and the other one is a video that you guys will be making. And you'll have 1 group presentation. You thought you were going to get out of group presentations because this is an online class. Sorry. The part of the reason why I decided to give you guys an online class, first of all, I've been doing it for a few years now, forcing my students in the online classes to find time to get together with each other outside of, like regular class time, asynchronous time, coordinate your times, because it's a good preparation. And I feel like because of this whole COVID mess that we're in, this pandemic, a lot of people, I'm hoping that my prior students who had to do this actually felt like, oh, Dr. Palmer actually prepared us for something like this. Because everyone that works with team members that are either within their jobs or outside of their jobs, if they're not in the service industry, they have had to coordinate their times and work in doing these team events, or these getting, work done through the internet and through Zoom and through email and, texting and all that stuff. So this has shown us, COVID, let's say, has shown us how important it is to be connected and how important it is to be flexible within these times. Hence, group work, but it's going to be a fun group activity. So lastly, there will be 10 quizzes, each worth 10 points. So totaling 100 points. And then I also have 2 tests for you to take. One is a midterm, the other one is a final exam, and everything is online. So yeah, if you have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, make sure you look at the whole syllabus. It'll answer probably a lot of your questions that you might have. And I urge everybody to find a person that you can have as a study buddy and reach out to that person first before asking me, because they might have the answer. And again, because this is not my full-time job, I don't always get to your emails as soon as maybe you would like. So asking somebody who might be in other classes with you or that you're friendly with might get you a quicker answer. So remember, study buddies are good. Let's move on. Okay, so general advice about readings for this course and other classes too. They say the worst way to do academic reading is to just open up a book and start reading, and then read to the end of the assignment. A better way to read is by using the introduction and study questions that I will provide to you. Read the questions before you read the article or the book and refer to them as you need. Doing this will help focus you on important points and details that you might not notice if you were just kind of reading it blindly. You can jot down answers to the questions in whatever form you feel appropriate. You can write them down in the margins, or if you're reading on a PDF, you can do a comment directly in the document. Another better way to read than just opening up a book or a document is to get an overview of the reading. So skim through it, thumb through it, see what it's about before you actually get into the meat of the arguments. See how it's organized, look at the table of contents, notice any key words that come up. If it has an introduction or conclusion, read both before you read the body of the text. By consciously thinking about the organization of an article or the chapter of a book, you will be better able to distinguish the main ideas in the argument from the mass of detail as you read. Success with reading in any course depends on discerning the forest, the basic claims and arguments from the trees, all those words, references, and data. Another analogy is, you could say, treat the article or book like a gold mine and not gold. So the gold is those little chunks of nuggets of information and important points, theoretical concepts, vocabulary. Those are the gold. The rest are just descriptives. You might want to know how to succeed in this class. So here are some tips. First of all, meet your professor. Send an introductory email. I have received a few emails from some of you even before the semester started, so thank you, and it's nice to meet you. For those of you who have not, just send a quick hello. Let me know what your major is. Because this is an asynchronous online class, we probably won't get to know each other as well as if we were face-to-face classes. However, just because we're online doesn't mean that we cannot find that same connection. So yeah, send me an email. Okay, next, manage the material. Print and refer to the syllabus calendar. If you're going to print anything off, at least print the calendar off, because that will give you the most important information for due dates and required readings for that week. Annotate. When you are reading, annotate. That basically just means write down things. Write down things that you think are important. Write down things that I repeat, because if I'm repeating them, it's probably important. Write down things that maybe that, oh, it sparks a thought about something that happened to you way back when or the other day, or something that you've been thinking about with the future, or something that it might have caught your attention in another class, because sometimes the greatest thing is when class things overlap, right? Class topics and subjects overlap. Let's see. Listen to all the lectures. I will be posting some of the lectures up on YouTube, and the great thing about YouTube is when you listen to the lectures online is actually you can speed the time up, right? So you can do, I think, up to 2 times faster, which will actually help you get through the material faster. Let's see, what else? Share your thoughts about materials on discussion boards. So again, that annotation, those little thoughts that you have about lecture or about the readings, if you write in the margins, send yourself little notes, that material you could just cut and paste it into the discussion, you know, like with some tidying up, making sure that there's sentences and you complete your thoughts. But yeah, share your thoughts on the discussion boards. Check your email daily, and that goes for every person because, you know, Alfred State sends out very important information, and sometimes I do too. A little bit less because we're not face-to-face classes, so there won't be any canceled classes, but I might be sending out some different information than what is on the syllabus. Let's see. Do your assignments and turn them in on time. You will be penalized for not getting your assignments in on time. So if you want full credit, get your assignments in on time. Work ahead while you are able. As long as you listen to the lectures, you do the readings, and you know, you pay attention, and you write, you know, thoughtful, insightful discussion board posts, then you should be able to pass the tests. And then finally, get sleep, eat healthy, take time for yourself. Remember, self-care is not a luxury. Self-care can just be taking a nap. It can be eating your favorite food. It can be rewarding yourself with a walk outside. And then finally, give thanks and be happy. So in conclusion, to create a great class, be open. So be open to learning about this material. Be open to making connections within your own life and how you observe these things. The concepts that we will be covering. Communicate not only with me, but communicate with your peers online. It might seem like you are the only one out there, but there are about 50 at least people in this class, and the more you engage, the more you will get out of this class, because we can learn stuff from each other. Be flexible. I will maybe at a certain point inquire about how things are going and if I need to change things, and if I do need to change things, please be aware that I'm trying to mold the class to everybody's satisfaction. So if people think there's too many assignments or something, then I am completely open to switching things up a little bit to better you and me. Do the work in a timely manner. Like I said before, try to work ahead, and then be critical but respectful. This is an online class, so sometimes you need to be in online communication, you need to be a little bit more cognizant of how your words are taken, because we're only basing our knowledge on and our emotional states and our reactions on what we can read, the words that we can see on the screen, rather than all the body language and tone of voice that we usually would when we were communicating face to face. So please be aware that about 70% of communication happens non-verbally, and without that, words take on much heavier meaning. So really be careful with the words that you choose. And that's pretty much it. So I think we're going to have a great class, and I look forward to getting to know y'all in this digital environment. Thank you.